We are trying to finish bolting this 1UZ back up together. Today we're doing the camshafts, and we'll probably get the valve covers on, water pump, maybe start getting the timing stuff ready. Again, this is gonna be a trial and error. We threw in some main studs without line honing it. These 1UZs have different size journals, so if you were to line hone and line bore it, you're gonna have to order individual bearings for every journal because the size of the crank journal, the crank itself, and the journal in the block are gonna be different. Some bearings might need to be 0.025 over, and some might need to be 0.018 over, whatever it might be. So we're just risking it for the biscuit on my dime just to test the theory, because the machine shop out here said that there are places that can line hone each individual journal, but he knows of nowhere in northern Nevada that can do it. So we're kind of in a rural area, so I'm not gonna take a 6-hour drive to go somewhere and do this. So we're just gonna risk it for the biscuit. Worst case scenario, it wipes out the main bearings. I think it's gonna be okay, as I've mentioned in many videos, but we're gonna do it. Why not? I mean, worst case, it's a forged crank, so it's gonna definitely eat the bearings before it eats the crank. And we'll know pretty much right away with oil pressure and stuff like that. We're just trying to make it to the 2026 season for drifting. We've never drifted before. We want to get our feet wet. So let's go ahead and start with the camshafts. I'm going to show you a little trick like I did on the crankshaft on the camshaft. So let's get started.
Built with soul, not just steel.
We're gonna take some of the metal polish, the AutoSol metal polish, to this camshaft here. Again, you're not taking any material off, but you can see this motor was sitting in the junkyard or in the wrecking yard for a while. It's got pretty good, and it's actually raised where the oil sat and kind of became oxidized almost. So I'll show you kind of a before and after. Here is the camshaft for, I believe, the driver's side. I've already done the passenger side, which was about the same. I just wanted to do a side-by-side comparison so you can see how much better the journals come out. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing to that on both cams. We verified all our journals. Our cam journals look great on the cylinder heads, so nothing to worry about there. But we're gonna go ahead. What I do is I have a polish rag. We just put a little bit on it, not a lot, and we rub it into the fabric like that. And all we're gonna do, and we're not squeezing tight, like I said, we're not taking any material off. We're not making these oblong. We're just enough. We're gonna get these 3 lobes here. You can already see the grime coming off there. Hopefully you guys can see that, yeah. So. It's already coming off just like that. And we'll just work this back and forth until we get it down to a suitable, if it's stained a little bit, that's okay, but we want to get it down to a suitable surface. You can already see, I mean, a world of difference between that one and that one. So we're gonna put this on time lapse because these take a little while. We'll get this cam done. We'll get the secondary exhaust cam done. And then we'll get ready to put these in the motor. All right, so you guys saw that with just a little bit of rubbing compound, metal polish, you can get those things shined up really nice. Again, little stains, don't worry about, as long as there's no, like there is no raise to that at all, it's just stained in the metal. It'll naturally wear itself out once this thing's greased. Another thing you want to make sure you get all your oil ports cleared out. You saw me kind of blowing through these things, making sure there's no polish in there. Spraying brake clean in there, just want to make sure that you don't have any left in there. So now what we're going to do is the time consuming part. I'll get you guys over here. We have, if you guys remember from the previous videos, we bought organizers. So everything is organized in the order it needs to go back in on each side. So what we need to do is clean everything really good. We're going to wipe everything down. We're going to lubricate everything. That way, when we put it in the cups and everything goes back to its original position. So we'll get started on wiping all that down, getting these camshafts in. Okay, so when aligning these camshafts, you are going to verify that the single dots on the passenger side cylinder head, the single dots will be touching. What it wants you to do, take this cam back out for now. It wants you to torque the top cam. You're going to bring that single dot to a 45-degree angle with the cylinder head. That way this lays flush and true. We're going to put all these caps in, then we'll rotate it down after we get it torqued, so that way we're not torquing against the valves. So let me get these caps in, cleaned up, and then we'll get this torqued and we'll move on to the other cam. Okay, so 12 foot-pounds is the magic number. So once we got this from 45, we turned it. This single dot on the right-hand side lines up with the single dot here, but it's at 10 degrees from the surface of the head, which allows this cam to lay flat and still be in its groove. So again, tighten these down with the single dot on the right head at 45, then rotate it till the 2 points touch, install your exhaust cam. An exhaust cam should be at about 10 degrees with the single dot, and it should be lining up single dot to single dot. Then torque working your way from the middle out. I did have to take these back off for the oil passage valve. So there are longer bolts here, so be aware of that. But this right bank is pretty much in place. I got to clean this up for this rear cap, but nothing runs through that. It has a big rear plug that goes here, so I'm not concerned about that right this moment. We'll go ahead, and it's the same exact process on the driver's cylinder head, so we're probably not even going to record that. But we'll get to this position on that head and then we'll move along. The thing you got to make sure you do is rotate your cam and remove your, before you forget, remove your lock bolt that you put in when you disassembled the engine. So we're going to go ahead and rotate this around. I think, let's go this way actually. There we go. That should be a good enough spot to get to it. Cams are rolling nicely. There we go. That is going to be your lock screw that holds the exhaust cam in place. We're going to pull this back around, get it close to where it needs to be. There we go. One. Should be with this keyway near the up position when we go to do the time belt. Right now I have the crank down, so we don't have to worry about any of the valves hitting the pistons. So we're going to let it go into its relaxed position right there. Now I'll move on to the next. I got the other camshafts in. Again, the driver's side, which is the left cylinder head, it is going to be lined up with the double dots. I've already rotated it, but let me see if I can find what we're looking for. Let me get my bolt out first, and I'll show you guys. There we go. There's a spring between these two sections of the gear. That's why it's important. It's basically, I believe this acts as like a dampener. So that is, you'd put your locking bolt to hold these two pieces here together before you pull them out, otherwise it'll spin. Now let me rotate it around and I'll show you. So this side should be where's our double dots? Okay, here they come. All right, there they are. See if I can get a light in there. Yep. See, you guys can see that or not. There you go. See the two little dots? It's hard to see them on the other side, but those two dots line up with the two dots. If you focus, there you go. Just like that. On the driver's side, passenger side is the single dot lines up with the single dot. I think we're gonna do, show you here. Go ahead and put our rear plug-in. So you can get these aftermarket. The Felpro part number TCS 45979. They'll just look like these big plugs. So what I normally do, I set them in like that. Then we're going to put our silicone on our cap. Okay, silicone is on the cap. Wipe my hand off a bit. These are also going to be 12 foot-pounds. If I didn't mention it earlier, the torque spec for all the cam bolts are 12 foot-pounds. Okay, get that started. There you go. Okay. That way I can make sure they're true and flush. Those feel good. I always put them in first because I like the silicone that's between the two to touch this on the side so it doesn't get a pin size hole, if that makes sense. 12 foot-pounds. There you go. So the plugs are in both the rear parts of the head. We've already replaced the silicone in here. I didn't do that on video, but best way to get these out is take a long flat screwdriver, get them right under the lip, and just with a hammer hit the back of the screwdriver, and these will pop out so you can clean out that silicone, put new silicone in. And then you want to make sure they're as true as possible. You will need to put drops of silicone on where they because they always do raise just a little bit. So you'll need to put a drop of silicone before the valve cover gaskets go on. But for now, it looks like an engine with some camshafts in it, guys. All right, so I think what we're gonna do, we wanna get this thing sealed up so no dust falls in it or anything. So we're gonna work on the valve covers next. I pressure washed those the other day when I pressure washed the cylinder heads. That really helped a lot just to clean up everything. We still need to put our cam seals in here. I'll have to grab my seal installer tool. In theory, you could put these in before you put the cap, but on these ones in particular, I just like to use the tool that goes right over the cam, or a tool or socket that fits right over it. So, all right, very first thing we're gonna do is get these old seals knocked out. They can only go one way because they have stoppers here. So make sure you punch them out the correct way. I'm just going to take a flat screwdriver and a hammer. Just like that. This is the passenger side. The driver's side has the oil cap. There you go. Simple as that. One, two, three, four. Bevel goes towards the spark plug tubes. They're beveled. So that's going to go towards the spark plug tubes, which means this is the top. That looks pretty dang good. All right, so that's one. Let me get the other one done and we'll move along. All right, so we've got the valve cover spark plug tube seals in. We're gonna get the valve covers on, pretty self-explanatory. I'll show you on these. You want to do silicone in this area over those plugs. You want to do anywhere that this thing steps up, you want to put a dab of silicone. That way, if there's any unevenness or the valve cover gasket can't get down in the corner, the silicone can be squished in there and that'll take care of that. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Just a blob there, a blob there, blob there. Okay. It's basically 4 spots on both cylinder heads. Perfect timing too, because we're starting to run low on silicone. And this should be, for the most part, the only remaining part that needs silicone. So I'll put the blob there, blob there, blob there, blob there, there, and there. And this part, let's clean our grease off. Okay. Okay. And the gasket kit we got came with all new valve cover gaskets, obviously, but also brand new what's the word I'm looking for, guys? Oh, the valve cover bolt seals. So okay. There you go. One. Okay. As well. There you go. All right, I'm going to put you guys on time lapse to finish this up. I'm going to change out the seals on the bolts. That's going to take a minute. Got to find all the seals. I know they're in this bag somewhere amongst these O-rings. So let me get those going and then we'll move on. All right. These are torqued to 52 inch-pounds for all the bolts. I had to go get one out of my truck. I remember dropping one. I don't remember where I put it, so I just went and I had the same size in my truck, so I grabbed a new one. Went ahead and threw the front cam gear seals in, or camshaft seals. Those are in now. So this thing is pretty much sealed up, you guys. We're gonna open up the new timing kit, get the water pump out, and we're gonna end this series probably there. We'll get this on real quick, and then pretty much just the ancillary stuff from there on out. We'll make more videos like installing the excessive manufacturing engine mounts and stuff like that, but for freshening up or rebuilding the motor, this is as far as we're gonna go, because we still gotta put the wiring harness back in and all that mumbo jumbo. I think we might even leave that all off to test fit the engine to see if we're gonna need spacers for the bottom of our shocks, because I think we're going to, because we're sitting so low already, and T3 makes a 1.5 inch or something 2 inch spacer that goes at the bottom of the A86 style coilovers. That way it's called a roll center corrector kit, so it'll correct our roll center so we're not too low, and then we should be able to set the height of the ride the way we want it from there. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to order those. They're about 180 bucks, but let's get this water pump thrown on. And all right, looks like the water pump comes with new bolts. Here is this bad boy. It's gonna go on there. This is the new designed water pump. I believe this is the Gates kit from Gates, but if I remember right, oh no, it's the same. Oh no, it's not. You can see the difference here. This is the newer design. It's just cut out there. It's got a metal impeller instead of a plastic impeller. So, just make sure our surfaces are clean. Okay, these bolts are in there. These ones are right here. Where'd my washer go? I just dropped. Oh, there it is. Oh, way over here. Okay, this will work for now. I'll give you one extra bolt apparently. And then those are all the studs. Let's run these in. Doubtful these are gonna be a size I have in here right now, but well, that'll work for now. All right, let's try this with the right size socket. Okay, then I'll hold that on for now until we get the rest of the bolts in. All right, you guys, I'm not gonna bore you with the timing belt. There's plenty of how-to videos already on YouTube for setting up your timing. Again, probably just gonna throw the intake on here loosely without any of the gaskets or anything like that. So that way we can test fit everything in the Celica to see where we're sitting, what kind of hood clearance we have and everything like that. But this thing, we did order a Dorman oil pan for the lower pan because this one's crushed. So that'll actually be here like 5:30 today. So we'll throw that on and finish torquing that down. Right now it's just that pan just sitting on there to keep dust out of the motor. We'll throw some plastic and a blanket over the top until we get the intake on. But for now, that's gonna be it on this little mini series on the 1UZ. Again, curious to see if it'll last with us not line honing it. It's a good experiment just to see. You know, it's our dollar, our dime, so we might as well try it because I really don't want to spend the money to drive all the way down California and have somebody that can line hone the different size journals and everything else. And the crank feels really good. So again, it's at this point, it is literally just an experiment. I decided just to go forward with it. The crank is forged, so the bearings are going to take the beating of everything. We plan on eventually boosting this thing anyway, so if we have to get back in there, we will. But hopefully we can make it through the 2026 season. That is the goal for this drift build. If everything goes smoothly, we still got a transmission and a few other things we got to do and finish up the cab and build the dashboard and a whole bunch of stuff. So lots of fabrication stuff coming up on that. But until next time, this is JP Street Performance, where dream cars are built, not bought. From the first cut to the final pass, I'll catch you guys on the next project.